Good morning and welcome back to Wavra Farms. We're standing out here in our garden area. It is sprinkling a little bit, but the lighting was really good this morning. So, you know, we live in Oregon, rain or shine, we film or we plant. So it's all good here at Wavra. Anyways, today I thought we would talk about drought tolerant plants. We always have that spot in our garden that either the hose doesn't quite reach, maybe we expand it a little bit, the sprinklers don't quite hit it. And so these are a great way to add color, interest, texture to the garden, to the landscape, without having to worry so much about making sure they're on that watering path. So the first one to talk about are the carokias. So carokias are the wire bird or wire netting bush. And they tend to be drought tolerant. This first one here that we have in front is called Sun Splash. It's a beautiful variated leaf. Got these gorgeous black stems. Just a lovely addition to any landscape. And then this one here is going to be slow growing. He's going to go about 4 to 5 feet tall and wide. But obviously, as you can see, these have been nipped, so super easy to keep them a smaller size. The next one to talk about, and these have such tiny leaves, I think maybe I'll try picking this up so we can zoom in a little bit. This is Carokia cotoneaster. Tiny, tiny leaves, and that's why it's so drought tolerant. It's not evaporating any moisture out of the leaves because there doesn't have very many. Super easy, very slow growing. It's a great little specimen, either for a bonsai or just to cause interest in the garden. One of our absolute favorites is here in the front. This is a ceanothus, and it is called Cool Blue. Now this is in the California Lilac series, so as these open up, you're gonna get these beautiful blue flowers on top of this nice variegated foliage. Very drought tolerant and also deer resistant. It is only going to grow about 3 to 4 foot tall and wide. Again, super easy to maintain with a pair of clippers. Now, we all know about barberries. Barberries are one of those plants that we all learned as a young child to stay the heck away from when we were playing in Grandma's garden. They do have thorns, but then again, super easy. They do lose their leaves in the winter time, where the ceanothus in front tends to keep its leaves along with the carokias. Those will all keep their leaves. Barberries will lose their leaves. They do have the thorns, but beautiful color all through the summer. Super easy to add to the landscape. Another one that's often forgotten is Nandina. Nandina is a great plant. It is going to go drought tolerant. It's got some bigger foliage to it. And then depending on the Nandina that you pick, there's many different varieties. Some are a little more red, some have finer foliage, and they get different heights as well. This one that I'm holding here is called Gulf Stream. And Gulf Stream is gonna go about 3.5 foot tall and wide, and it maxes out there. So really you wanna pick a spot where it can get to its full size. It's very graceful looking if it never sees a pruners. So it's one that I probably would not plan to prune in my landscape. So we also have, it's just still kind of in bloom, these little yellow blooming flowers. This is a Pittsburghium, and it is a heterophyllum. So it is going to keep these great leaves. It's going to be evergreen. It's a great hedge substitute. So this can be pruned. It's going to go about 8 to 12 foot tall and wide, but this one can easily be sheared. But again, drought tolerant, full sun, lovely plant. So this is in the ceanothus family. This is called Anchor's Bay. And this is going to be a little evergreen shrub. It is going to get the blue flowers later in the season. This one tends to be a little bit more prickly. So obviously no deer are going to bother this one. More of a ground cover, 2 to 3 foot tall and wide. So one of our last plants, it is going to be very pokey. are the yuccas. This one here is called the Magenta Magic. This one's gonna have these beautiful purple stems. It is going to go about 2 to 3 foot tall and wide. And once it's established, very little water is going to be needed. So as you can see, whether you're needing a centerpiece, something a little bit taller, more of a specimen, something as a filler, maybe the Nandina, something to keep people out of your garden, the barberries, or just a little bit of oddity and interest to the garden. Any of these lovely drought tolerant plants might be just the perfect plant for your garden. Thanks so much for watching, and happy gardening.